and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and for today's WIP and Chat I am going to work on Pigasso again. So I did have a bit of a do I, don't I sort of thing over which painting I was going to work on today, because I am going to do Heaven and Earth Design August. And it's not actually August, it's the last day of July today, so I thought this possibly, depending on how the month of August goes, because we never know, this may be the last time that you guys get to see me work on Pigasso. I have got a little bit further, so he has got all his bottom and his splatters, and I'm working on his neck, sort of getting to his face at the moment. So I thought we will see how long we can diamond paint, how far we get doing Pigasso for today, but I will let you know what my plans are for August and for my Heaven and Earth Design month. So it's going to be a little bit different to the likes of the June Waffle or the December Advent, but hopefully I'm going to make some progress throughout the month of August. So I'm going to be using the big pink tray because this is just working so well, especially with having such a big amount of a background colour. And I'm going to be working using the limited edition red, white and blue pen, of which we still have a few. And I have one of our metal tips and metal straighteners in there. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Before I do start on the painting, I do need to say thank you to a couple of people. So Jeanette has sent me this little professional mini set of scales. So thank you so much, Jeanette. This will be awesome for weighing diamonds. So I will be giving it a go soon. It's still, oh look, still, peel. Oh, so nice. I'll do that later. It does need some batteries, I think. Oh no, we do get 2 batteries. They're sealed in there, so I'll pop them in there. But yeah, she sent me this little mini set of scales, so I may test that and find out and write down how many, you know, diamonds fit in each, etc. So that I need to play with for a little bit, but it does go quite small. It goes to 0.01 grams. So yes, that should be fun to mess about with. So thank you so much for that, Jeanette. She did leave a message. It took me a minute because I'd responded to the message. It took me a minute to find it. There's just so many places that people can leave messages and comments and things that sometimes it takes me a bit to find out where it was left. Also, Melissa did send me a lovely gel nail polish, so I'll have to try this one soon. It's a little bit darker than the one that I have, but it's definitely the kind of colour that I'm going for, a little bit more neutral. So I will probably give that a go very soon. So thank you so much to Melissa as well. Okay, that's my thank yous. Let me get some diamonds in my pot so I can make progress while I waffle on, because I have a couple of different updates before I get to comments and questions, and we'll see how I go and how things get going. But let's get zoomed in and get some diamond painting done while we are chatting. And I'm over in the far corner, so I think that's about as far as I can zoom in and still have the diamond painting on my desk. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. So it is a little bit to the left. So I'm going to start off with the blue, because there is a lot of this blue. And what I've done is I've tipped a load into my tray and then tapped a load to this side. And once I've done a bit, I will move some back over. before it gets to the point that I turn my tray around. But I'm trying to get as straight an edge as I can up this far edge first off. So I need to go, you know, I go a little bit slower, a little bit more gentle, a little bit more tweaking as I go along, and get my nice straight edge first before I then work in a mini step method throughout the rest. I probably will end up moving a little bit more over, but for now that may as well be covered up, especially when I'm doing the background. I tend to do quite a big section of the background often before I fill in some of the other colours. I actually have got to the pig's neck, which is actually off screen last time before I filled in all my little gaps, just to save me opening those pots all the time, but we'll see how today goes. So yes, updates. One thing I don't know whether I don't think I have told you guys yet, but I did recently, a month or so ago, actually hand in my notice to my full-time job. So I am now doing the likes of YouTube and the shop now as a full-time job. So that is my new full-time job, which is really exciting and an absolute dream come true. So I thank you all so much for your support with the shop, to enable us, or enable me, to be able to do the shop full-time. I am trying to make it a Monday to Friday thing as much as possible, though WIP Chats, I am doing this on Sunday. I've not quite worked in the WIP Chats as much to the daily schedule yet. It really does depend who is about to watch Luna and other stuff that needs doing. But I feel like I have been so busy with shop items, planning, stock coming in that needs preparation, that yeah, the days are just absolutely flying by. And so full of stuff, but it is amazing that I'm able to do it. So I thank you all so much. It is your guys' support with the shop, primarily with the shop, that has enabled me to do it. It is also your guys' support with, of course, watching the YouTube videos, liking, commenting, all that really helps. And I don't speak about it often, but I do also have set up the option to buy me a coffee, or a Ko-fi as they put it. That is linked on at the bottom of my website. So it is at the bottom of each page, but it's right at the bottom of each page. You have the option to buy me a Ko-fi or buy me a coffee. And there are a few people ever so grateful that they are able to and willing to support me by buying me a coffee. So thank you to all those guys that have the means to be able to do that. I recognise that not everybody does. One thing I have done, as per requests mainly, it has been asked of me, is I have turned on so Ko-fi is basically a site where you can choose to just buy me a coffee. I think it's set at £3, but you can change the amount to whatever amount suits you. And that goes to me. That helps me support. It's like a YouTube support system and helps with, you know, costs involved on being on YouTube, as well as, you know, going towards my wage on YouTube, which is primarily through the adverts. Yeah, I have turned on the option where people can set up a monthly payment to me if they want to. So it is purely if you want to, can afford to, you can choose to set it up as a a monthly amount if you want to do that as sort of a monthly thank you for the YouTube videos. Please feel free, but don't feel as though you have to in any way. I haven't set up any sort of membership or tiers or anything like that. I may do in the future if I can, you know, if there does become something that I can give you back for your support more so than YouTube and stuff that I do already. If I do find that there's any more time I can carve out of the day. At the minute I still feel like I'm playing a lot of catch up from running the business and YouTube around work. I do now, or around the other day job. I do feel I'm still playing a lot of catch up now, getting myself in a routine. Now I'm doing this full time. One thing I have started pretty much straight away is giving myself my evenings back. So occasionally, you know, my day ends up being longer because I'm in the middle of a project and it runs over, and I'm completely fine with that. But I am trying to switch off from, you know, general shop stuff, especially things like packing new things that have come in and getting stuff ready. I try and say to myself, no, we can do that tomorrow, and give myself, you know, the evening primarily to diamond paint, to be honest. That is primarily what I am doing with my evenings, is diamond painting. But it's great to be able to have that time to diamond paint that I seem to have been losing. That's one of the main things that I was losing, was my switch off time. I have found that my weekends as well, primarily, apart from, of course, the likes of getting a WIP and Chat also done, depending on how busy the week's been, but I'm trying to primarily give us the weekends back for doing just projects around the house that need doing, or going out for the day, things like that, just being about a bit more. In fact, this afternoon, after this WIP and Chat, this afternoon's task is to clean up the house, because I feel as though that's not happening in the week yet. Maybe once we give it a blitz through today, it'll be easier to keep on top of it in the week. But I'm planning on blitzing through the house, and then I think we're nipping to my sister-in-law's and we're going to watch the England women's final. So it's fun to be able to do things like that and not feel as though I need to, you know, get my videos ready for the next week and stuff. So thank you all so much for your support, for me to be able to take that jump and see how doing this full time goes. Time will tell for everything. And in turn, I am now hoping, and now more so in the position, to do a Heaven and Earth Design Month for August. So many of you guys know that I've watched my channel for a while, have watched my WIP and Chats for a while. I currently have 2 Heaven and Earth design projects on the go. And what they are is they are a cross stitch pattern that I am doing in diamonds rather than cross stitch. So each cross equals a diamond, and I'm doing it on a blank canvas. So I have 2 that I'm doing. One is a mini one, a little mini beautiful light, and the second is my big little dreamer's tree. It is 40 centimetres across, which is not big. It's in fact smaller than Pigasso across. However, it is 2.5 meters long. And that is long. That is probably taller than a wall in my house. It's one of those that it's probably going to have to go in a stairway to be able to be put up. So it is 2.5 meters in length, and when I first started it, I was going great guns. I'm actually primarily using spare diamonds to complete it. So diamonds that are left over from other projects is what I'm primarily using. But yeah, it seems to have stalled a little bit. I was getting a section on each of them done per month as part of the WIP Chat. However, when I had COVID end of April, May time, it sort of, well, a lot of my videos took a bit of a pause, but in turn, my Heaven and Earth design completion or rate of completion stopped. We then had June Waffle, which of course was a WIP Chat every single day, where this year I did a mini painting from Paint Gem every day. And my Heaven and Earth design has not been touched since. So even for July WIP Chats, it's not yet come out to play. None of it has been done. And I feel I need to correct that. I need to give myself, a bit more of a kick with getting some more of it done, because I do love doing it. I think it's the thought of doing it that puts me off. So I'm going to have a Heaven and Earth design August. Now, what that means for me is I am going to try and do a section a day of my Heaven and Earth design in August. So it will start tomorrow, Monday the 1st. And I will be doing that on my dining table. I'm hoping to put all my cases on my dining table and do a section of my Heaven and Earth design. Now, I might make that part of my working day, i.e. maybe try and do that in the morning when I'm waking up and, use the time to think about what my plan for the day is maybe. But I'm going to try and do it as early on in the day as I can, and if not, I will do it in the evening. But my idea is to do a section a day. Now, I'm going to start by trying to do the same section I do in a WIP Chat, which is 30 diamonds across and 20 diamonds down. So it's 600 diamonds per day is the plan. If I do find that that is becoming hard to do, I may go down to a 20 by 20 section. So that would be 400 diamonds a day, just to ensure that I keep it going. But yeah, that's my thought, is I will do that each day. I'm going to try and throw in an extra WIP Chat each week. So on a Wednesday or a Thursday, I will do a Heaven and Earth design WIP Chat, which will let you guys see the progress that I'm making and keep me accountable. And then I will do a Heaven and Earth design as well on the Sunday. So I think I'm going to try and do it with Little Dreamer's Tree, because that is the biggest. That is the one that I'd say weighs me down the most, but it's not like a nasty weight. It's the one that has been going on the longest. It's the one that is going to take the longest overall. It is the one that really needs to see some movement. So I'm going to do a section of my Heaven and Earth design each day, and then I will do a WIP Chat with you guys as well, which will show my progress, keep me accountable. So if you guys have got any projects that maybe have stuck a little bit, I know quite a few people did projects like that in June and did sort of a clear up type of project, or ones that have been hanging about and they use that as their clean up time, then awesome work. If you want to join me as such, there's not a WIP and Waffle every day. There will still be all my normal videos, but you can set yourself a mini challenge to get some of your projects done. I know there's a few people that have said they're starting the likes of a Heaven and Earth design, and maybe you could use that as preparation time / the beginning time to start doing it. I think somebody said they have a cross stitch that they want to do. I'm pretty sure it's in some of the comments that hopefully I'll get to today. But yeah, I'm going to do a Heaven and Earth design August, but a lot of it is going to be off camera, but I am going to throw in the extra WIP and Chats through this next month, so that you guys can see how well it's going. And I'm hoping that I make a nice dint in Little Dreamer's tree. So it may well be that Pigasso does come back again in September. He may come back for the WIP and Chats. Time will tell. It really does depend on, I may get addicted to the Heaven and Earth design. I may end up doing more than one section and deciding to work on it in the evening as well as in the day. But it is sort of a different way of working with the Heaven and Earth design, because I often have it flat so that I can access my tablet and stuff. So it may not be as easy on my back. It may just be a matter of doing the one section and moving on for the rest of the day. And of course I've got, work stuff to do now for the rest of the day, which I definitely have. I have very big to-do lists for next week, but I'm hoping just by carving out 45 minutes to an hour, maybe using it as thinking time, will actually probably help me be more productive throughout the day, because all my thought process, which normally takes place over a cup of coffee, will take place while working on my Heaven and Earth design. So yes, that is my plan for August. That is my sort of major life update. And yeah, I think that's my updates. If there's any more, I'm sure some of these questions and comments that I'm going to go through will bring them up and bring them to the forefront. Anything else that I can remember. But yeah, I just do want to say a big, huge thank you to you guys for your support by buying through the shop, and also watching the YouTube is a huge support and has allowed me to give this a go of doing it full time, and we'll see how it works. We've built ourselves a little buffer just to make sure that we can give it a fair run for its money. And I don't quite know already, considering I've only actually finished work, I think, for about 2 weeks, maybe 3. I don't know how I managed to fit it in during the days and weekends at the moment, because I seem to have filled every day. But Megan is also off. She's off for the summer holidays now, break from school, before she starts a new role at the same school in September. So we have been doing a lot of plotting and planning these last couple of weeks for things that will be coming up, which takes more time than it might do every other month, because we're planning quite as much as we can in advance. We are trying our best. Okay, let's see. I have loads and loads of comments and questions. So let's make a start on those and see how far we get. I would like to get through them all if I can. If not, I may carry some over to the midweek WIP and Waffle until I see how. I was hoping to get that in before my memory card saved. I may keep some of the questions for the midweek WIP and Waffle until I see, how much the comments build up. And then I will be trying to just do comments from the last WIP and Chat in the current WIP and Chat, because it keeps things more up to date. Okay, Irish Grace Nemes says she's been binging, she says, my vlogs whenever she sits down to do her assignments and studying lectures, so that she doesn't feel like she's alone. She says, thanks for your videos. Or, you're more than welcome. I hope your studying is going well. I do agree, studying on your own it can work for some people, but I think I would just end up going off task and getting, distracted. I can distract myself far too easily, quite often. Nancy said she has just got Mr. Quackers, she says, and she's put Pigasso on her list. He is cute. He's actually really fun to do. I know there's a lot of background blue, but it's blue. It's not black and it's not white. So I quite enjoy a big background, especially when there are sections that I'm missing, like to then go and fill in. I get quite excited to sort of neaten everything up around it and then go and fill in all those little gaps. So maybe I'm just a weird one that actually quite likes block backgrounds, as long as there is those little breaks every now and then. They make it a bit more exciting for me than just straight colour. But it is nice to be doing it in a blue, say, rather than a white or a black. The cat lady, she says, hi Rebecca, she says, a question about the Heaven and Earth design charts. She says, do you have to use square diamonds to complete the project? She says, or can we use rounds? She says she has a lot more spare rounds than she does square. You can use rounds, but you will get a different finished look. So rounds are bigger, so you would need to make sure that you purchased a canvas suitable for rounds in the first instance. What you would also need to, in effect, be happy with is on a round image normally, so a normal round diamond painting will still have colour. So if you've got your round diamond, it will still have colour around the outside to make it into that square, in effect, block. Even though you're putting a round diamond, the colours will still make it square around the outside. If you're doing a Heaven and Earth design, you will have white there. Now, dependent on, the canvas, round diamonds quite often can still butt up to each other, so you will still find that they're touching. So the white on the background will be minimal. However, it will still be there. It will be less noticeable the further back from the painting that you go, but a lot will depend on what painting you choose as well to do. You do need to bear in mind, if you were doing the likes of the Little Dreamer's Tree, for example, which starts at the very top with huge blocks of 939 to give the night sky, they would have white edges around them. So you do need to bear that in mind. Right, I am going to do some of this colour to fill it in a moment, but I'm just going to use the rest of these small amount of blues that I tipped into my tray. I'm going to try and use a few more of these before I move on to a few colours, just to keep it a little bit more interesting for you guys. So yes, it can be done. I don't know if it has been done. Maybe I need to check out the Facebook group. Heaven and Earth Design Diamond Painting is a Facebook group with loads of people that have got a lot further on in their Heaven and Earth designs than I have. And many of them that are very knowledgeable about the process due to the amount of them that they have done and the amount of research and stuff they have put into it. To see if anybody has done a round one and what it looks like. But I go for square because I don't want that white in the background. I don't want it to distract from the picture. But it would be an interesting project to see. I can't put that on my list yet though. I have 2 Heaven and Earth design to do, and I have the blank canvas to do as well. So does Megan. Though Megan is hoping to have a Tinkerbell August with me. She's going to see how it goes. She is currently off from work, and work is normally the reason that stops her from diamond painting, because she's trying to fit in everything else around work. But while she's off for the summer, we're both going to try and have a doing August. So she's going to try and do a section of her Tinkerbell each day, and I'm going to try and do a section of my Heaven and Earth design each day. Sue, she says her little Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, she said, hated me sneezing. Yes, Luna still definitely checks up that we're A-OK when anybody sneezes. She said he would look at me in horror and then leave the room. She said unfortunately she died 4 years ago. She says, but she still says sorry to her when she sneezes. I say sorry to Luna, and sometimes I feel like she's waiting for me to say sorry before she'll move on and go back to whatever she was doing. She says, another great WIP today as always. She says, we all appreciate the time and effort you put into your videos, which is why they're so good. Thank you. She says she never misses one. She says 4 PM is Rebecca time in this house. Thank you so much, Sue. I do appreciate that. I try and make sure, say, that I have one each and every day for people, because I know when I was off with COVID, through the messages and stuff that I got, they were definitely missed. And yeah, there is some people still going through some of the older ones as well and having a bit more of a binge watch. But yeah, it's lovely to see. Right, I'm going to stop on the blue. Let's do something a little bit more exciting. I am going to pull this off. Where do we go? Oh no, let's not go too far. Because there is some of this number 1 over here and this number 2, and it seems a bit pointless not to add in those couple. So I'm going to do sort of here up to this number 4. These are the AB ones, and then if there's anything that is only that side, then they can wait until I've done more blue. So I'm going to start with the grey. Renee says, hi Rebecca. She says she was watching my last Little Dreamers tree video. She says she still hasn't caught up. She had to order more 939 as she has very little left. She says, and knowing her luck, she would need a lot more than what she has left. Love your WIP and waffles. Yeah, 939 in Little Dreamers tree. There is loads of it. I find there is often some in most of the squares that I tend to work on. In fact, I must remember to put my tablet on charge as soon as I have finished this video, because there is no chance of me doing a Heaven and Earth design August if I don't have my tablet fully charged and ready to go. And it was the fact that it wasn't charged was the reason I didn't use it when trying to sort out diamonds for my mum, and seeing how many I needed compared to how many I had was because it wasn't charged. Which is often the story of my life, but that is also the story because it's been so long since I used it. Okay, I've got that number 1. Number 2, I actually only need 2 of them, so let's see if I can dip into the pot. I'm so going to break my thumbnail one of these days. I do say you can use the end of a set of tweezers to pick up the diamonds, to open these pots, sorry. and then I still don't. Okay, that's the number 2 done. So I'm actually going to go for this one first because it tucks in before I start doing the likes of that V. So the divide symbol. This is in a little pot, so I might see if they lie flat. And if they lay flat enough, I'm not going to tip them into my tray because that's an extra step. I'm just going to see if oh, that one fell into my tray. See if I can get hold of them this way and use my pot as a tray, because sometimes that works. Depends. I've just caught hold of this diamond in the most weird angle possible. But it's working pretty well. Just picking up all the diamonds that happen to be the right way up. Because of course this pot won't get them to go the right way up. But some of them will automatically fall that way. So I'll use it for those. Get a few in over here. There's probably going to be more of these going on and I'll just have to dip into the pot again later. Got one up there. And that's it. So let's get the tea done. This one is in a bigger pot, so I'm going to tip these out because it doesn't work the same way. Darcy, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she now has her 2 blank canvases for the 2 free downloads from Heaven and Earth Designs. So they do a couple of free download images, cross stitch patterns, which actually are really, really nice. She says now she needs to begin getting the drills. She says she's not sure about needing 50,800 just for the 310s. Wow, that is a lot of 310s. It wouldn't surprise me though. It's amazing how many 310 extras you can end up with. Maybe if I sort out my fancy scales, I'll be able to figure out exactly how many that ends up being. How many bags full you need, because I seem to collect 310s quite well. She's also said, she will be getting the drills through Diamond Drills USA. She says that way she'll have constant colour matching per colours. She says her eyesight and the lighting isn't great. She says, but she will persevere through it. If need be, make it your daytime project, Darcy. Make your Heaven and Earth Design your daytime project, which is another reason I think I'm going to try and do my Heaven and Earth Design more of a first thing in the morning than later on in the day, is due to the fact that the lighting is better in the day. Sunlight is better than, what's the word for artificial light? That's the word. Yeah, daytime lighting is a lot better than artificial lighting. So that's why I'm going to do mine during the day. Plus, it means that it's a tick done. And I can say, yes, that needs doing every day. And that has been done. Along with other tasks that I do on a daily basis. I will be, making sure to do that in the best light. Jo, she says, a Heaven and Earth Design month sounds fun, she says, and she would certainly love to join in. Well, join in, Jo. I'm now doing it. I've said it out loud, so I'm doing it. She says, at the time of this comment, she said her Heaven and Earth Design project is 37% complete. She says it is going faster than she expected. She said, but maybe it's because it's only a 49 centimetre by a 48 centimetre. Yeah, maybe it is, because a 50 by 50 painting is one that you can get and do quite often as a 50 by 50. She says, thank you for another great waffle, Rebecca. You sound like you have chosen the right size Heaven and Earth design to do. I think when I decided to set myself a challenge, I maybe set a challenge, you know, when I was doing it, I don't think I was quite as aware. I was aware, but I wasn't quite understanding the vastness of a 2.5 metre painting. I just thought, wow, that will be a challenge. And by Jove it is. But I will be cracking out the diamond painting, setting it up on my dining table later, and giving myself the best start I can is the hope for first thing on a Monday morning, which is often another good time to sort of start some form of challenge, isn't it? It's a Monday. Isn't that what they say? Once the weekend fun is done, the diet always starts on Monday. Well, my Heaven and Earth design is going to start on Monday. And if the August month works out well, and if it works out well being structured into my day, then I may well try and continue. Maybe not be as precious about every day, but maybe I'll try and continue as many days as I can doing a section of my Heaven and Earth design and get the project done, or at least progressing. Some says they would love a Heaven and Earth design month. Said it would motivate them to work on their own as well. Their first kit arrived a while back, but they haven't got round to actually working on it. Well, dust out your items. A Heaven and Earth design month starts tomorrow. It's not going to be a video about Heaven and Earth design each day, because I already do that twice a year, but there is going to be more updates. So I think I've scheduled the first update for Thursday. So I should be working on my 4th section on Thursday on video with you guys. And then I will do it each Sunday as well for the month of August. If it works out, I may continue to do it, but maybe not have as many WIP and chats about it. Maybe I'll throw in a WIP and chat in the week to give an update and do something else at the weekend. Or maybe I'll still do my twice a month but give you big updates. Who knows? Let's see how August goes first. Let's actually see if August succeeds first. Lady Dax says, our Spock, she says her cat, bolts from the room, she says, if we sneeze. The little one, she says, Seska, tries to put her head in our mouth to see what it was. Class. And our very uninterested cat, Seven, takes absolutely no notice. I think I'd prefer she took no notice. Sometimes when I tend to sneeze, it tends to be a morning. And, you know, I'm not all up about a dog in my face first thing in the morning, to be honest. I much prefer it when she has a calm morning and is not quite as jumpy. Though this morning she's had a very good explore in the garden, even though it was raining, and then greeted up to say hello with very wet paws. She says she's doing her gorilla from Diamond Art Club in round. She says, you now have me using a 2-placer. She says, not as easy as with squares, she said, but she is persevering. She said she too is making patterns with it. Awesome. This multi-placing I've not yet tried with squares. I should do. I should give it a go. Even if I don't use it on the blue background, I could potentially give it a go, you know, maybe in sections like this with a 2-placer, just to get myself used to it a little bit more. Build up my use of it. Maybe I should try it on my Heaven and Earth design if I have a big block of colour. Maybe that will make it move faster. Who knows? Liz, she said, thank you for another lovely WIP and Waffle. She says she's currently working on her Darling Dragonling 2 by Jasmine Beckett Griffith from Diamond Art Club. She says it's her largest painting to date at 56 by 69 centimetres. She's just ordered the flowers and Christmas mini paintings, she says, from Paint Gem, and she has received an email confirming that they are dispatched. Awesome. I do have an update actually on my Paint Gem minis. Let me just finish Liz's comment. See, I knew things would remind me of other things I wanted to tell you guys. She says she's just started multi-placing. She said she has watched a few YouTube videos and it has been mentioned that the skinny placer is easier than the standard one. She says a 4 placer was provided in her Diamond Art Club kit. She says it's not perfect, but it's definitely improving. Oh, that one. I don't think it has an AB coating on it. I've got a couple here that haven't got an AB coating, so let me just fish them out. I do have a little pot that fishes out any drills that need it. But yeah, just fish out those ones that haven't really got a coating because we want the sparkle. The sparkle works. Yes, the multi-placers that we sell are the skinnier ones as far as multi-placers are concerned. So yeah, I am giving it a good practice. In relation to the Paint Gem minis, that's what I wanted to update as well. So if you are in the Facebook group, you will see that on Friday, I actually started sorting out the rest of my display books for my Paint Gem minis. I did a video on starting it, didn't quite realise the scope of the project. It was an idea that Jackie and Paulette came up with, I'm sure it was Jackie and Paulette, came up with to use an A6 display book for the Paint Gem minis. And I got a couple of books and I got some card. And I soon realised that one, the books would get quite full. I got the 20 books with 20 paintings in there. And also I wanted to do something to name what each picture was. So I had a great time actually doing a mini production line with it and getting my paintings sorted into display books on Friday. And I now have quite a few. I did buy a box of 12, I think. 12 of the display books with 20 pages. And I have filled about 9 of them. Well, I say filled, 3 of them are ready for sets that I have, but have not yet completed. But I did create, or we did, Megan with me, or for me, should I say, created some stickers so that I could put the name of each painting with it. We have just recently, I think it was actually quite late yesterday or yesterday morning, finalised those stickers so that we will have them for all Paint Gem kits, and they will go into the shop as soon as probably Monday or Tuesday, when we're able to get the website images and all that sort of stuff. It's on our Be Productive next week to-do list. So if you do want the stickers very similar to, well, the same as the ones that I put on my paintings, that the picture is up in the group, they will be available on the website next week. They're the same size as the DMC stickers that go on the cardstock, but they go underneath the image. And we've managed to get, I think, 3 batches of the set name stickers on one sticker sheet. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut them down. So basically you can pick up a pack of stickers to name your Paint Gen mini set for 50p plus any postage costs with your own stuff, and they will be a sort of permanent on the site thing, so you can get those with any launch stuff that comes out. You don't need to make a special order, they're not going to sell out quick, because we can just print more for you guys. So yeah, I wanted to let you know that that is coming if you are still working on your Paint Gen Mini display books or not, and I will do a video showing you how mine have turned out, but I don't think that will be until not this week coming up, it will be next week, just due to scheduling of stuff that I already have scheduled / filmed. It will be, yeah, a week on Monday, I think I've popped it down for. I need to actually film it, but I've popped it down for a week on Monday. I'm trying to get organised with everything, you see. Now I'm doing this through the day. I'm trying to give myself evenings and weekends back as much as I can, which means I'm trying to get not so much hugely in advance, but I'm trying to get many of, you know, the next week's videos filmed the week before, depending on when I currently have kids available to watch Luna, which can work during the summer holidays. We'll have to think of something else when, you know, they go to uni and back to school and all the rest. But for now, I'm trying to get ahead as much as I can, apart from my WIP Chats, and do my WIP Chats as current as I can, and the rest ahead. Okay. Oh, I've got a little anchor one. I did do the anchor before, but obviously I missed this little one, this little guy. So we'll put him in. But then the rest, because the number 6 does spread out over here, so there's no point in me doing the number 6 now, because I am going to have to get it out again. So I'll do some more blue. It's getting there though, isn't it? Let me move it over. See? It's amazing how quick it actually goes when you've got a block of one colour and then you're filling in bits. Oh, I'm still on questions from the first day the WIP Chat was put up. It'll take me a while. Let's see how much more I can get through, because I do need to get my house cleaned up and everywhere straightened before we go to my sister-in-law's, and that's just so that I can start August off on the right foot. Start a Monday off on the right foot with a nice clean house, a nice evening with family, and I can go into the week feeling as though I can start working on my to-do list, which is the way I love it to be, if I can. Every now and then, sometimes when I find I have a big to-do list and I'm getting nowhere with it, quite often I do need to pause, stop, do a sort of, even if it's just a tidy up, even if it doesn't need a clean, but just tidy up all those bits that are in the wrong place and in, you know, not quite where they should be, and empty all the bins, and maybe even give the floor a quick hoover. And all of a sudden then it's like it clears the clutter out of my brain, and I can get on with my to-do list then with a nice clear workspace. I love a clear workspace. Jackie, she says, if you're going to do a Heaven and Earth design month. She says, can you do a pinned post? She says, again, like June and December. She said, so those of us who haven't got one can see all the Heaven and Earth design posts in one place and they're easier to find. Yes, I can. I think I will. I'm trying to think whether it's best to schedule a post that goes up each day or whether to have one where people can just add comments to the bottom. So I think I'll start with one post. I'll try and remember to put one up later on tonight for people to put their progress, and I'll try and make sure that I put mine. And then you can choose to just follow that one post. If I find that there are a lot more people joining in than I thought, then I may start posting one each day, but I will update if I do that and let you guys know that I'm moving to a post a day because the post is getting full. But yeah, I will do one and I will pin it to featured so that you can find it to post each day, and you can find it to see people's progress each day. And I will try and remember to post mine as well, which normally I just have a video that shows you my progress. So it will be a challenge for me to remember to post one as well. But that's another good reason for me to do it in the daytime, because you might actually be able to tell how I'm getting on with the picture. So yes, good shout, Jackie. I will do that. Scrapping Sylvia says, love Pigasso. She says, thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching. Pigasso is great fun to work on. It's nice to get another one done. Jeanette says, oh well. She says, I guess I need to buy more storage. She says she only has 22 diamond paintings kitted up. Oh yes, see, so far behind. She says, but she does have some very large paintings. She's working on Diamond Art Petal Fall, which is 102 centimetres by 51. So that's like half the length of my Heaven and Earth design. She says she's also working on a Heaven and Earth design. She says she needs the change up, she says, every few days. She says, I hope you like the gift I sent you. She said, I know you've asked for it. She says, don't let the package sit too long. Love from Washington State. Yes, thank you, Jeanette. That is the scales that I mentioned before. I have them. I do need to have a mess about with them, so they will stay out and on my side until I can carve out a little bit of time to maybe give it a little test of how much diamonds weigh. Maybe see if I might have to do some counting, so I need to be in the right frame of mind for counting. But yeah, I think it would be fun to see, you know, how much diamonds weigh. Maybe I'll test it with some kits that actually come with the weight on them as well, and see if I can figure out roughly how many diamonds are in each one. Be interesting. Juliet says she really enjoyed today's WIP and waffles. She says Piggy looks so much fun. She said hugs from Utah. And Patricia said she's from Utah as well. She says, what a small world. Yes, there are a few diamond painters about here, there and everywhere. There are actually a couple in my town as well, which is since found out, and a few people that I've roped into it, of course, because, you know, gotta spread the love. Amy, she said Tuesday, she said she had to travel, and then Wednesday she had a wedding, and then she travelled back on Thursday. She said, me and my partner, she says, did it with our 3-year-old. She said it was so hard. it can be. It really can be hard with kids. It really depends on how much they like to travel, how easily they can potentially be distracted with different things that are suitable. If they're a mover, sometimes it can be very hard to travel with a mover because they just, their legs need to be going all the time. And sometimes that can be really, really hard. Okay, my battery's flashing at me and I have loads of comments. So I'm going to see how far I can get before the battery has had enough. And then I might just set myself a goal of getting to the end of this blue section, not including the bits in the middle, just to the end of this blue as the diamond painting for today. Because if I don't set myself a goal, I'm going to be in here for ages and my house is not going to get cleaned up. And it would take too long to process and get it up as well. So let's change the battery and see how far we can get. Okay, let's see how much of this blue I can get done. Patricia, she says she loves how Pigasso is coming along. She says she is working on some smaller Christmas gnomes kits. She has 5 kitted up and she thought she was out of control. See, it's all about perspective. Do you know what I mean? More people haven't kitted up, which means you are perfectly normal, and so is the person with more kitted up as well. She says, thank you for sharing your time with us. She said, did your mum get enough diamonds for her heaven and earth design yet? She said she enjoyed watching that process. She says she got a lot done on her painting while you were separating diamonds. Excuse me. The diamonds haven't actually reached my mum yet. I'm in the UK and my mum is in Australia, so it takes a bit. I mean, I filmed it and sent the diamonds out the same day or the next day, which was a couple of days before the video actually went up. But as of yet, they've not arrived with my mum. I expect them in this next week to probably turn up with her, depending on how Australia Post is coping with incoming mail at the time. And then it will probably take her a few days to sort them out. She very much likes to do quite often a little bit of some project each day. I can do that with some things, though sometimes if I start on a project, I can have that little stubborn streak in me that makes me finish that project, or at least finish most of that project before going, okay, no, I need to stop. Like, I don't like having something half done. Whereas my mum, because she enjoys the process as much as I do, but she enjoys the process, the enjoying of the process is more of a thing for her. She will often spread something out over a few days. She will quite happily diamond paint for 1 hour in a day, and then that's that. She has so many other interests with books and cross stitch and stuff. She's more than happy to just do a small part of it, whereas I tend to get addicted, and sometimes if I start diamond painting, it's actually getting me to stop to do anything else that's the problem. So I don't actually know if she has enough yet. She will get it checked off, I'm sure, within a few days. She has got some gaps that she wants to fill in, so she'll enjoy the process of sorting them all out and getting her gaps filled, and then she'll determine whether there is any more that she really is in need of. But hopefully she's got enough. You know, it's not a short-term project, the Little Dreamers tree. I think even if you manage to work on it every day, I still think it could potentially be a year-long project, just working on a section a day. So it may be that she's very much like me. She will continue going, and when it gets to the point that she then runs out of a colour, that's when she'll be like, okay, now I need this colour. But time will tell, will it not? Willie says, hi Rebecca. She says she's so jealous. She says, how can you place your drills so straight? She says, please tell me your secret. She says, your painting is amazing. She said, much love from the Netherlands and thank you for your helpful videos. From Willie. Yeah, practice is mainly the thing. So Balera did comment and said it's all about practice. She said her first attempts with squares were a fight. A lot of it is practice, very much so. I think there is a certain type of person that needs or desires for maybe a lot straighter square than somebody else might be a little bit more comfortable with it being a little bit off, but still looking good when you step back. So if you are a perfectionist, I think a little part of you needs to be, okay, it still looks fine when I step back, and that can be a hard thing to get used to. And you'll still often find me nudging diamonds that I don't quite think are straight enough, because I would prefer the perfectly straight. It's actually kids that have probably taught me to let things go a little bit more in other areas of my life, which have helped. The other thing is mainly practice. So you can really help yourself with a square. I do have a few tips in the tips and tricks section on my website. It basically links you to the YouTube video. It just helps you, because searching YouTube can be, quite frankly, not fun. It can sometimes be very, very hard to find a video you know is there on YouTube. So to come across a video that you don't know is there can be harder. So if you go to my website, I do have a category called videos, and within there I have a category called tips and tricks. In fact, there's two categories, tips and tricks. One is lots of little short ones, and the other one has a couple of more longer in-depth. And there is ones about working with square videos in both of those. So there is the step method, which I'm doing here quite often, is by working in little sets of stairs. I often like to do 3 or 4 stairs and do a row over doing, you know, the full section, just because to me I feel like I'm getting somewhere a little bit quicker if I do stairs in a row of 3 or 4. Sometimes I go off tangent and do a line somewhere, but it keeps it varied for me. The other thing is it's your edges, your first initial edges. Get yourself a ruler or a gift card, you know, take the time to get those straight, and it should help the rest of the painting look, feel and be straighter than it maybe would have been if you didn't do that. So that's my 2 quick tips, but I do have videos on it. Pauline said, how do you do round in a straight line? Along the same lines, so still get yourself a ruler. There is still an edge of the round diamond, albeit not as big an edge as on a square. So get yourself a ruler down your edge so that all your rounds butt up to it, to give yourself a good start, and then go from there. But practice is the main thing. Anne Mette, hopefully I've said that right. She says she loves my videos. She has 2 diamond paintings in progress, she says, but technically she has 4 unpacked, because one she's doing is a diamond painting divided into 4 panels. She says all the diamonds are in one. I love those types of diamond paintings. They're like really thin, so you get like a strip of it done really quick and then you just work on the length. I love panelled ones. She says, but it takes one of the panels as a diamond painting. Yeah, I do that. Whenever I've had panel ones, I do cut the panels up and do one panel at a time as each diamond painting. And yeah, I love doing them. I really do like doing the panel diamond paintings. As I say, I feel like you get them done a bit quicker because they're so much thinner. And your brain is thinking them as individual paintings. So, you know, by the time you're done, you've got 4 paintings completed. You don't think of it as one painting completed, which I think makes them fun to do. Aubrey, she says the end of the arrow, she says, is called fletchings. Aha! My brain probably still won't say that when I see the symbol, but it is interesting to know. So it's this symbol that she's talking about. Oh, is that going to focus? The little sort of, looks like the bottom of an arrow. It's called fletchings. So yeah, if that was a word I use commonly, then I would say fletchings every time I did that symbol. I can't promise I will, but it is good to know, Aubrey. She said she would also like a Heaven and Earth Design Month. She doesn't have enough square spares yet to start one, she says, but she's excited for when she does. Well, maybe some of you guys that are thinking of doing a Heaven and Earth design but haven't quite yet started, maybe you could start, you know, the planning or the browsing throughout the month of August. Just the, you know, preparing yourself so that when you are ready to tackle it, you have everything ready to tackle it. Maybe start putting diamonds aside. If there's a particular chart that you want to do, they do list the DMC numbers. And often they will list how many stitches are in the chart, which is how many diamonds you need. So there is nothing stopping you from planning even before you buy the chart. And you can always have a nosy at a few different designs if that can actually help you maybe design which painting you want to do. Could be dependent on which diamonds it uses. Rebecca says she loves the idea of August being a Heaven and Earth Design Month. She will definitely be joining in. Get your stuff ready. It starts tomorrow. Diamond Sparkle Chase, she says they still sell those clips, she says, on DIY Choose. Oh, so that is these towel clips that I use to clip to my diamond painting to my easel. Last time I checked, the link didn't work on DIY Choose, so maybe they have just moved them around the site. Some sites do that very, very often, and they will send me items and I will get a video ready, and I'll go to get a video ready and I can't because I have to go hunting for the paintings again because they've moved the URL, which is really frustrating. And then sometimes I just can't find the painting and it's like they've stopped selling it since they've sent it me. But yeah, if DIY Choose are selling them again, or maybe they have just moved the link, I will try and see if I can find it again. If I remember, I will try and have a hunt and find it. I do have a few diamonds in these that are stuck together. It can happen in the diamond process, and quite often these ones are actually really, most of them are really easy to just get apart by just getting my pen on one of them and it will come away from the other one. So I always try that first before throwing it in a pot to dislodge them. Most of them, as I say, as soon as I'm touching it to get hold of a diamond, the other one will just come off from it. So it makes it a little bit easier that way. I can do it all with my pen. I just have the odd really stubborn one. I think this is my stubborn one. And sometimes if it's only one, then I just try and use either twist it in my fingers, and that's not worked with this one. So then I'll try using my nail to get it to break apart. And that has worked. So I've managed to get them all apart, bar one of them I managed to do with my pen. Nellie, she says she does enjoy my videos. She's having trouble with her painting, she says, and doing them, she says, because she wants to do them too quickly. Sometimes I'm like that. I think every painting has a point where you really want to have done more than you've actually achieved. And I think it's because you do also get excited thinking about your next painting and what may be next on the cards. Right, I am going to leave it there for today, but I have about 6 diamonds left in my tray. So rather than tip them back in, because I know doing this blue background will be what I continue to do before I fill in these gaps, I'm just going to do that. Okay, so I haven't got through too many questions today. Mainly, even though this has been a longer WIP and chat, I did spend the first 20 odd minutes waffling and giving you guys updates. It's these clips, by the way, that are DIY choose. And they're just towel clips. They're just really handy. They're big and they're bulky, but they are handy. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave Pigasso there. I think we've done quite a big chunk, to be fair. We've done a quite nice amount for today. I will carry on with some of these comments. I think there's not actually too many. It's not as bad as I thought it was, though maybe I scrolled too fast and maybe it is. We'll see. I will start on these comments on my Heaven and Earth design update on Thursday. I may actually just go through the rest of these comments and just keep a couple, and then keep some from this video to go through on Thursday. I'll have a look and see what the comments are, but that is Pigasso for now. He may or may not get finished in the month of August, but all my WIP and chats are going to be my Heaven and Earth design update, unless something drastic happens in life and I don't get to do any more Heaven and Earth design, then he may be back. But my plan is to do Heaven and Earth design for the month of August, but just WIP and chat mixed in with the rest of my usual type of content. I know I have another breakdown video that's coming up next week. That should be it for the breakdowns for a little bit, she says. It depends. I might get Pigasso done before you know it. But you will get to see him, of course, when he's finished, if not before. So please wish me well on my Heaven and Earth design. I am going to try a new goal. So the goal of working at least a section or 2 sections I was doing each month has been put to the side. I'm going for a section a day just through the month of August, and if it works, then we'll take it from there. But thank you all so much for joining me for this waffle. Thank you all so much for your support, to give me, this opportunity to potentially stay working for myself. We'll see how it goes, but I will speak to you all again soon.